Can a plane land after 37 years? Listen to the mysterious story of Flight 914. Have you ever imagined that a plane could suddenly disappear for 37 years and then one day return from the sky? Did Flight 914 really vanish in 1955? And did it come back in 1992? If yes, then where was it all those years? How did the passengers survive? Was it time travel, some experiment, or a massive secret? In this video, we will open the door to the mystery of Flight 914, a mystery that still echoes in people's minds. What is the truth, and what is just a rumor? Discover the story that shocked the entire world. So watch the video till the end, because this is not just the story of a plane, but the tale of a mystery that tore through time and returned. For more mysterious information like this, subscribe to our channel Mystery Zone X today and press the bell icon. The weather was clear, the air was calm, and everything seemed completely normal. After takeoff, everything was going according to plan. But suddenly, 1 hour and 45 minutes later, the aircraft disappeared from radar as if it had erased itself from the sky. No warning, no message, not even an emergency signal. Florida Air Traffic Control was stunned. With every passing second, hope faded. Panic spread everywhere. Patrol ships were sent over the ocean. The Navy and Coast Guard were activated. But the aircraft seemed to have dissolved into thin air. No debris, no drop of fuel, not even a piece of metal. Almost as if the flight had never existed. A few days later, newspaper headlines screamed, "Vanished in sky, Flight 914 mystery." 10 days later, when all hope had died, the plane was declared missing. Families were informed that no one would return. Some said goodbye in tears. Some gave up waiting. And just like that, another mysterious case was buried in the files. Presumed crash, no survivors, case closed. But was the case really closed? Because 37 years later, a shock shook the world again. 1992, Venezuela. An air traffic control operator suddenly noticed an old model aircraft on the radar, lowering its landing gear without any prior notice. When ground control made contact, they were stunned. The pilot identified himself as Captain Miguel Victor, and the flight number was the same, Pan Am 914. The aircraft that had disappeared in 1955. It had appeared 37 years later, tearing through the timeline. Unchanged, untouched by age, as if time had never affected it. Questions arose. Was this time travel? Was it a scripted drama? Or a truth deliberately hidden from the world? Today we will uncover the layers of this mystery, with logic, facts, and suspicion, so you can decide for yourself what happened that day and 37 years later in the skies over Venezuela. The morning in Caracas was as busy as usual. At Simón Bolívar International Airport, planes were taking off and landing. Sunlight fell across the runway, and everything in the control room seemed normal. But then, a shadow appeared on the radar screen. An aircraft with no prior notice and no registered transponder signal. Its movement, altitude, and direction seemed like technology from the 1950s suddenly returning. At first, officials thought it might be an old military aircraft or perhaps a private company's mistake. But when they contacted it by radio, the voice they heard froze the entire room. "This is Pan Am Flight 914 requesting permission to land from New York to Miami." For a moment, it felt like time had stopped. Controllers looked at each other in fear and disbelief. Pan American Airways had shut down in 1991, and Flight 914 had vanished 37 years earlier without a trace. Old records were immediately checked. Codes were verified. And what they found turned doubt into shock. The captain's name? Miguel Victor. The same name listed in the 1955 flight manifest. The transponder code was the same.
It was as if time had paused the flight at the moment it disappeared. Airport authorities sprang into action. Security forces were deployed. Medical staff were called. Immigration teams were alerted. Then came the announcement. Pan Am Flight 914 cleared to land on runway 5. Soon, an old aircraft descended from the blue sky. A Douglas DC-4. Its body was covered in dirt. The paint was chipped. The wings showed slight rust. There was no sign of modern navigation systems. It looked like a machine that had flown straight out of a museum. But the real shock came when the door opened. Passengers stepped out one by one. Women wore knee-length skirts from the 1950s. Men wore fedora hats and old-style suits. They carried vintage suitcases and handwritten paper tickets. No barcodes, no electronic data. Everything looked like it. Some questions still float in the air. Now the question is for you. Do you believe time travel is real or just a frightening imagination? Comment your opinion below. If you found this story interesting, like, share, and subscribe, because in the next episode, this mystery will go even deeper.